What's up, guys? Elfis here, and today we're gonna be talking about HoN. We're gonna be playing a little. We're gonna be doing a little HoN tips video. Okay. So unfortunately, I haven't gotten through the ranked games on my new account yet, so this is kind of my supplements in the meantime. Just in the background, you're just looking at some updated Moira gameplay after I learned the hero a bit more. This is just a little bit better gameplay, so to speak. Still not amazing, probably, but better anyways than the video I uploaded. So what we're going to be talking about today, this HoN tips video is going to be about tips to get you out of MMR hell. Keep in mind these tips should supplement your mechanics. They shouldn't replace them. So what I mean by that is you shouldn't have you shouldn't be learning these tips instead of learning how to last hit, or instead of learning how to, have map awareness or buy the right items, things like that, okay? These are to kind of back that up. They're not to replace it. So with that being said, let's jump into it. Number one, be nice. Do not yell at people, all right? I think a lot of you are like, that has nothing to do with the game, dude. Why should I care about that, man? People are stupid. I should just tell them they're stupid. No. Why? No, that's not going to make people play better. It wouldn't make you play better. If I was in a game and you were making mistakes and I insulted you and made fun of you, that wouldn't make you want to play better. That would make you mad at me and want to play worse, probably, so that I lose. So here's what I will say. Be nice to them. I'm not saying you can't criticize. I'm just saying do it in a more kind-hearted way. So if somebody, for example, forgets to call miss, instead of calling them an idiot for calling miss and telling them you're losing us the game, be like, hey man, you forgot to call miss, could you maybe call it next time so that we don't get ganked? I'd really appreciate it, Being nice goes a long way. Trust me, it does, okay? Alright, moving on to the next one. Try and coordinate your team. What do I mean by that? I mean when you jump into team picking, when you're picking your hero select, when you're in hero select, try and coordinate your team so that you don't have 5 carries. It's not always easy. It's not always possible. You only have a minute to talk to people, but, right when you jump in, be like, hey, can you guys show your picks? Who's picking what? If somebody highlights a carry, the second hard carry, if you have Nighthound highlighted and somebody already highlights Scout, maybe be like, hey, dude, we already have Nighthound. Could you pick Scout instead? Again, making sure that you're going to be nice. All right? Be nice about it. There's no reason to get angry about it. There's no reason to, be like, oh, great, another scout. GG, guys, we lose. There's no reason to be like that. Just be, nice, genuine about it, and tell him, hey, man, we really don't need that hero. Could you pick a different one? Yes. People are usually willing to cooperate if you're nice. Not always, but usually. And if they aren't willing to cooperate, then they're just not willing to cooperate, and you just have to live with it, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, moving on to the third one. Number 3, buy team items. That may not seem like logical to you. You're like, what do you mean by that? I mean wards, I mean upgrading the courier, team items that will help the team, okay? If you're playing a supporty like hero and maybe you want to go more of a carry build, get like a sheep stick. Sheep stick can be utilized in a carry build and it's crowd control to help the team, Maybe get a frostfield plate, more crowd control to help the team, those kinds of things. And on top of that, the wards and courier are mainly what this is kind of directed towards. Even a carry buying wards is better than nobody buying wards or nobody upgrading the courier. You should do it at opportune times, wait until you have the right, gold and that kind of thing. Don't just run out and do it, but, don't rush courier upgrade because that's foolish. But, buy wards. They're very helpful. Even if your support isn't doing it, which they should, but you're in the MMR hell. You can't always expect your teammates to play at a 1700 level. That's not what you are in that bracket, to expect. That's not how the game works. So buy wards, even if you're on Madman, even if you're on Scout, although Scout has built-in wards, so once you get a few levels, you can kind of place your own. But, buy team items, upgrade the courier eventually, buy wards, maybe buy items, maybe buy an Abyssal Skull if you're playing a carry and you have other melee members on the team, just to kind of help your team out, all right? It is important. I think a lot of people overestimate or underestimate the power of wards and therefore don't buy them just because they're a carry. That's not true. Buy wards even if you're a carry. Just don't splurge all your money on wards. Buy them, be conservative with your money, kind of be... Don't go spend it all on wards, but be a team player too. All right. Number 4, probably the most important one. Maybe being nice is also very important, but number 4 is probably the most important one. Pick your heroes carefully. If you are in MMR hell, this is probably the biggest tip I can give you. Certain heroes have better chances of winning than others. Okay. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is heroes such as, I don't know, maybe Sandwraith, who literally is useless for the first 25-30 minutes of the game, with the exception of, when he pops his ultimate, it kind of scares people a little bit, causes confusion. Other than that, he's useless until he gets, his mock or his first big item, really, okay? So maybe pick heroes that aren't like that. Maybe pick heroes where you don't have to depend on your team for the first 35 minutes of the game. The heroes that I personally recommend, that I've had very good luck with, that I find to be very successful in getting out of MMR hell, are gankers that can transition into semi-carry. So I'll just rattle off a few. Pebbles is a decent one. Fade works alright, but you need a little bit of skill to play her. Hag is pretty well, is a pretty good one. Heroes that early on in the game are very strong and can capitalize on the enemy's mistakes. In MMR hell, a lot of people are making a lot of mistakes. So what you want to do is you want to capitalize on the enemy's mistakes. If they're not paying attention to the map because their map awareness isn't that good and you're playing a ganker, you can get a lot of good ganks in very quickly before the enemy team even realizes it. Okay, so that's one of the reasons I would advocate that gankers are very, very, very good at dealing with players in MMR hell. And then come, mid-game, mid to late, you can transition into a semi-carry on most of them. Build up like a demonic, things like that. Maybe a frostfield plate if need be. Things that can kind of make you a tanky person, but your hero also does a little bit of damage too. Okay, so that is probably the biggest piece of advice I can give you. I know how much fun it is to pick Scout every game or to go Flint. You're like, I'm Flint, I'm the best carry ever. Those heroes, maybe Scout less so, but Flint specifically, Sandwraith specifically, let's see if I can think of a few others. Maybe Artillery's not the best example, but he a little bit, things like that. Heroes that just maybe early game wise are just not as strong. All right, you really want to pick heroes that can do well early game and then scale decently into the end game. That's the idea behind it. Okay, so that's the best advice I can give you guys, is to just pick your hero carefully. It really, really makes an enormous difference. So I would very much so advise that you look into it. If you want to ask me in the comments below, if you want to ask me if a certain hero is a good example, feel free. I will tell you that you will have much higher win percentages probably if you pick like heroes that do better in those brackets. Okay, now once you get up to the higher brackets, pick whoever you want, because you want to specialize. You want to be a carry player or a support player or a jungler or a ganker or whatever. You want to pick your role and kind of stick with it once you get above 1650. Not that you shouldn't be decent at all roles, but you should kind of be somewhat specialized. The other thing I will say is, if you are a good player, if you have good mechanics, it doesn't matter who you pick. All right, I can jump into a game in the 1500s and pick Nighthound, and I'll do fine throughout the game because I have very good, last hitting capabilities, and my map awareness is decent, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can't really, you can compensate for not picking heroes that do well by just being a better player. But if you're not a better player, live with what you have. All right. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully my next video will be a video in my new account for starting out for my climb for MMR hell. I'll be following these tips myself, so keep an eye out for that. Pay attention to how I utilize them. Maybe that will help you. The other thing I will say is, if you'd like to check out my stream, I'd really appreciate it. The link is on my channel. I've been streaming a little bit, not so much in the past week because I was busy, but I will be getting back into streaming, and I would greatly appreciate any support you guys could give me. That would be awesome, since I'm kind of starting up in that community. So thank you guys, and not going to let you mentor this one. Sorry, buddy, we're doing a little thing. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope these tips help you. If you have any tips of your own, let me know. Maybe I'll redo the video with better tips if you guys can recommend some. And I might redo the video in a little bit anyways, just to get my own personal tips updated every so often. All right? So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. That was just a test to figure out Ephemeral Forge, by the way, for anybody who's like, why did you do that? I was still kind of figuring it out in this game. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys later. All right? GG, well played, guys. Elfis out.